We've been here before. What the world calls journalism is public relations for China. The Chinese regime knows how to influence minds. It knows how to control the narrative, both at home and abroad. Tonight, we'll tell you about China's infiltration into the Indian media, about China's attempts to influence Indian newspaper readers. The method Beijing uses is very simple. Make one of its officials write an op-ed for newspapers, an opinion piece in leading Indian dailies that carry them without understanding the hidden motives a lot of times. Sometimes they do, but we don't know their motives. Let me give you some examples. February 2020, the coronavirus was spreading. Nobody knew about the danger it posed to the global economies, including India, but China perhaps did. So on the 29th of February, the Chinese ambassador to India, Sun Weidong, published an opinion piece in one of India's leading newspapers, The Economic Times. Look at the title, China's Economy, the Open Road to Development, a one-sided narrative of how the world, and especially India, will need China's help for what was coming. Let me quote some excerpts from this op-ed to help you understand. At present, said the ambassador, the Chinese government and people are making all-out efforts to combat the novel coronavirus. China's efforts are not only protecting the health of its own people, but also that of the people of the world, including India. Protecting the health of the people of India. Do you remember China making any such efforts? I don't. All I recall is how China sold India faulty test kits, how the Chinese military provoked India, tried to grab land, how Indian soldiers died in action in the Galwan Valley. This opinion piece was China's attempt at telling Indians how generous it was. There's another one from the 13th of March. This too was penned by the Chinese ambassador to India. It was carried by The Hindu, one of the oldest newspapers in India. It is published, the paper, in 21 locations, 11 states. The Hindu carried an op-ed titled Fighting COVID-19 Together for a Shared Future. An exhaustive piece of Chinese propaganda. It talked about how the Chinese government had mobilized its efforts to contain the virus, how it was helping countries with medical equipment and research, and how it had effectively maintained social stability. Well, had it? I won't answer it. Watch our reports starting the month of January and you'll have the answer for yourself. These aren't the only newspapers which provided a platform for Chinese propaganda. Almost every leading Indian news daily did this. On the 2nd of April, the Times of India carried this piece, again by the Chinese ambassador. The title, A 7 Decades Journey Charting a New Course for the Dragon-Elephant Tango. The dragon and the elephant shown shaking hands here. On the 6th of April, the Free Press Journal carried this piece. Read the title, India and China can show the way in fighting the virus. Co-authored by China's Consul General in Mumbai, Tang Guokai, and Sudhindra Kulkarni, a BJP detractor. The 1st of May, the Chinese ambassador wrote this piece for the Hindustan Times, titled, Viruses Don't Respect Borders, Come Together. I have to agree, they don't. Neither does the Chinese military. The Indian Express carried this piece by the same Consul General. Read the title. COVID-19 has triggered a new wave of China bashing. It has. And is it any surprise? Anyway, these are just some examples of editorials. Then there were advertorials, which is paid editorials. But unlike others, we don't believe in providing China a platform. Well, here's the thing. Most media in India, both in print and on TV, maintained absolute silence for months on China's culpability in spreading the Wuhan virus. It took a border provocation by China to burst their bubble. And the silence is not restricted to the Indian media alone. China's media interference is a global phenomenon, just like China's virus, spread all over the globe. Beijing is training foreign journalists. It is ramping up international broadcasting, undertaking extensive advertising campaigns. According to one report, the Chinese regime invests as much as $1.3 billion annually to spread its global propaganda. Propaganda designed to look like personal views. But look at the people behind these views. They're Chinese officials mostly, colluding with media outlets to influence minds. Let me wrap with what China does with opinion pieces at home. It edits them. I'll give you an example. In the month of May, the European Union released an opinion piece on the coronavirus. It was co-authored and co-signed by all European Union ambassadors to Beijing. It was meant to celebrate the EU's 45th anniversary of diplomatic relations with China. The European Union called it a friendship letter. Guess what China did with it? It rewrote the piece, removed an entire paragraph which pointed to China as the origin of the pandemic. China censored a friendship letter before publishing it in its newspapers. This is what it does to friends. Imagine what it can do to enemies. There is more to op-eds than meets the eye.